Well, hello there, everybody. How are you doing? I hope you have had a really fun-filled day and all that sort of whatnot. Hello there, Queen. How are you? And DTI and sweet God, hey, long time no talk. Today, I had this bright idea because little Miss, little Salsa, she really needs to have her nails trimmed, and I thought it would be a really good idea to have that done today. And normally, yeah, on a Monday, that would be a good idea to do that. Well, where I go, there's a store which there may or may not. Hey, Insolent Violet, how are you? There may not be one where you are, or there might be. I don't know how pervasive these are. There's a store here called Trader Joe's, and it's kind of like sort of a Whole Foods, but smaller. And also, it's very, very popular. And in my opinion, it's kind of snotty. So is Whole Foods. I do go to Whole Foods on occasion, only just to take back, stuff from Amazon and I drop it off. But I've bought stuff there before too. I have from Trader Joe's too, but it's not like my go-to. So anyway, I go there to get salsa in, and nary a spot. It is so flipping crowded, even over on the side where everybody who are going into the PetSmart and stuff. Nope, nope. Nothing. Up and down the streets around. Nope, nothing. And so there I am trying to call them and be like, yo, salsa ain't coming in. And I just keep on being placed on hold, which was, compounding my annoyance because I could not park to bring her in. And then I was like, I can't call in and like just make a simple cancellation because I keep being put on hold. Meanwhile, I had some no water shampoo to take to my friend and her dog, JJ. And I also put in some soaps in there for her, a shave soap and then a bar of soap that I made. So I'm trying to do all of these things. And I ended up being so happy to get home. And I did stop by and pick up a prescription. I'm like, at least I can do that because little Miss is with me. And thank goodness there's a drive-through and hopefully this won't take too long. And it didn't. And now here we are. So those are some things I did today, which were annoying. But I had other times which were pleasant when I was painting and making soap and, relaxing with the fur babies. All of that was absolutely lovely. But that one part where it was like dealing with the public during, the week of Christmas, yeah, uh, I was glad to get home. So today, what we are going to do is listen in on the call for the Q3 of 2024 Beachbody, like kind of the financial, the earnings call, like what's going on. And so I thought that we would start with me sharing with you, because I think looking at this at the 5-year is very interesting. Now, let me go ahead and share my screen. So you guys are going like, what are you talking about? Just what are you talking about, Miss Thing? And I'm talking about this stuff in just a second here. Okay. So I have the tab over here on 5 years. And as you can see, it's like, it goes back to 2021. The tippy top over here, the top peak over there, that is in 2021. And that's actually February 12th of 2021 when everything was the highest. And it went down. And then we bumped up, went down, bumped up, and it's just kind of continued to pretty much decline until we're pretty much at a flat line here. Just like not much is going on. And I don't know if you guys were following Beachbody back in 2021. Me having been a Beachbody hun, I was aware of some stuff, and I remembered when that was the year that, oh, we're going public. We are such a big deal. We're so fantabulous. We're going public. Well, I wonder how many Huns dumped their stock when they actually saw that Gee, I'm not going to be like making the money like I thought I was. No, 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 you weren't. But back in 2021, at the peak, it was $702.50 a share. Down to the close today, which let me go, where's the 1 day? 1 year, year to date. Today closed at 609. I don't know. I'm not doing the math. So if any of you guys want to do the math and tell me what kind of percentage of loss that is, that's kind of staggering, a staggering loss. And what I think is really funny is that they're building this whole idea of moving away from multi-level marketing into doing this omni-channel. We're now affiliate marketing as being some sort of thing that is going to, I guess, revolutionize or breathe new life into Beachbody. And that's the name of the company, Beachbody. But when you're buying shit, it's body, BODI, because we got to use an I and not a Y. Which, you know what, I mean, I can really appreciate that, because there was a time when I would change my name a lot, and I would come up with some very creative ways to spell different names. And I'm like, why did I even do that? Why? I don't know. I guess I was bored. Hello, Takara. How are you? Thank you so much for the pink hands waving, and Salami. Nice to see you as well. Hey there, Sherry. How are you? The Body Carnivore program. Oh, I love that. I love that. Yeah, they kind of like, they've seen better days. Now, I don't remember if Beachbody started in 2010. I think it did. But there was a time when Beachbody was like, it was all the rage. All the rage. People were able to grow teams, blah, blah, blah. And over the past few years, not this past year, but I think the year before that, I was, to an extent, tracking the rankings as people ranked up. And it was so incredibly sad. And I have that data somewhere, but I don't have it pulled up. But it was so sad, because it's like there used to be just a ton of people that became Emerald, which that was like the first ranking that you got to. That meant that you had 2 people on your team, which I could never hold that, but that's neither here nor there. And there just be like just a fuck ton of people. So all of a sudden now it's like, it was like everybody would fit on one hand. And I think back about 2017, when there was a big exodus, a massive exodus. And that's when people left because they were not making the money they once did. And a lot of people went and joined a wine MLM. And it never really recovered, because back then, when you were in the coach back office, you could see how many people were part of Beachbody. And it was over 400,000 coaches, because there were coaches back then, before they were called partners, like a year or 2 ago, when they came with that brilliant idea. But it really seems like Carl has been having this company on life support for quite some time. And, something else, and I was talking to Sweet Goth about this earlier. We were just chatting back and forth on the X, the former Twitter, over there, just chitter-chattering. And I just remember when people were just so into Beachbody, and I used to say this too, I bleed blue. Now, blue was the color of Beachbody, being a Beachbody coach. It's blue. And so when people were leaving to go for other things, well, they didn't bleed blue. I thought you were true to Beachbody. Apparently not, because you've left. You don't bleed blue. And I think about that, and I think back about it. Hey, Joe. And I'm just like, my gosh, that is so gross. Because, what did Carl actually create? And like I said, there were over 400,000 coaches at that time. He pretty much, created his own little, much like Ash from On Passive, how everybody worships him and everything, and just like they just lap up anything he says. It's very much the same thing with Carl Deichler, the CEO of Beachbody. And people, and I remember this too, on a Super Saturday that Carl came here and he spoke. And I was all excited because I actually paid an additional fee so I could have my picture taken with the special guest, which was Carl. And then he ended up not doing the pictures. And that just pissed me off. It's like, then why did I pay extra? I literally got nothing out of it. And it always irritated me too, whether it was at the Coaches Summit or if it was at going to a Super Saturday, how there would be Shakeology there, but it's never like it's gratis. Like you just get to walk up and get to try a new flavor or something. No, $5 a pop. That's what you paid for a little tiny cup of Shakeology, which is a huge ass motherfucking ripoff if you ask me. Really angered me so very much. So I say all of that as I think the writing on the wall was there about Beachbody and its decline way back in 2017. And it's only now that we have seen the fallout of it pretty much collapsing, which I think is interesting. Do I have another story to tell you? Is that what you're asking, Joe? Or is it just this is the story? I'm confused. It's easy to confuse me today after dealing with the public and salsa and everything. It's easy to confuse me. So just imagine if you had a company and the stock at one point was, where was it? Come on, pop up for me. It was like, over 600 is what I said. There's something when I found it was over 600. And now to look at it, look, it was because that was year to date. It was over here. $702.50 each share was going for. And then for it to be going at $6.09. Isn't that terribly sad? And doesn't that point to failure when there's that much of a disparity? Now, granted, in that little bit of a time period when they were riding high, I'm guessing somebody made something. And I don't think it was the coaches. I think it was, someone like, could it be Carl Deichler? All those coaches buying into this. Is also after that. That's when they got into the bike thing. And those bikes were just pieces of crap. But they were like over $2,000 that coaches were buying in addition to their Shakeology, in addition to their Beachbody On Demand, now Body On Demand, or whatever the fuck. I'm still calling it Beachbody On Demand. In addition to their Energize, in addition to, in addition to, so many things, so many expenses. And they were all just so giddy. Oh, I'm not sad about it either, Queen. I'm not sad, but I just think that it's like, if you're like in control of the company and you see that kind of decline, and then you keep trying to spin it to shareholders, because, the shareholders, and I'm not saying everybody who joined Beachbody is dumb, because, I joined it too. But basically, you had these shareholders who they know business and they're looking to make money, blah, 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 versus the Huns who don't know dick all about any of that shit, but think they do, going around saying how fantabulous they are. Meanwhile, the shareholders are like, yeah, so this return on investment sort of thing. Huh. We seem to be, Houston, we got a problem here. Meanwhile, Carl is running, behind the magic curtain as like the great Wizard of Oz, trying to whip up something new to keep it all going. That's just kind of what I'm envisioning in all of this. Then I wanted to share this with you guys. So here we have about the Body Stock overview, saying it operates as a subscription health and wellness company that provides fitness, nutrition, and stress-reducing programs. I think that's really interesting. Stress-reducing programs in the United States and internationally. Where's some more details? Okay. And internationally. The company operates Beachbody On Demand, a digital subscription platform that provides access to a library of live and on-demand fitness and nutrition content. Well, there was a point when there was a live component. I think that live component went bye. Oh, look, okay, founded in 1998. So I was like way off. Okay, so it was founded back in the 90s. And as I was telling Sweet Goth, I did a video about Carl's background and everything. And when you start looking at his background, it really makes sense in terms of what he leaned into and how he did the infomercials and then how he did the videos and stuff, because he had this background, which I don't remember all the ins and outs of it. You'd have to find the video because I've slept since then. It's been a few years. What can I say? Let's see. And Beachbody On Demand Interactive for live fitness, which doesn't exist. Okay. It also offers nutritional products such as Shakeology, a nutrition shake, which I don't think Beachbody would say is just a nutrition shake. They tend to really pump that up. Beachbody Performance Supplements comprising pre-workout Energize, which they always wanted coaches to get. I never did. Hydrate and post-workout Recover, and protein supplement recharge products. Beach Bar, a low-sugar snack bar. Never tried it. Supplements under the latter brand. Connected fitness products and Body Bike Studio. That's the bike I was talking about. A package subscription, which I don't think they offer that anymore, to Body with a bike and accessories. The Beachbody company, okay, blah, 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 of when it was founded. And there it has Carl Deichler. Now, I wonder, because I know that he let go of, I don't know, was it 30 or 40% of the employees, something like that. I mean, it was a lot. He let go of a lot of people. But whoever put this together at the time, there were 582 employees. I'm sure that's been scaled back a lot because, you're trying to save money. And there were some other things on here. Okay, this is what I think is funny. Okay, is Body undervalued compared to its fair value analyst forecast and its price relative to the market? Below fair value, significantly below fair value. And then I just think it's funny that your valuation score is a 4 out of 6. And then what else? There's something else down here. I looked at this earlier. Where was it? Is it going to be here? Let this thing maybe catch up. Okay, this right here, estimated growth. When you're in the negative, that kind of means the company is sucking, right? I mean, that's just like, I'm putting it very simplistically because that's the way that I look at this and I'm like, you're not growing, you're retracting. So that would be a problem. Now, how long will that happen? We don't know. We'll just have to see. And it does say Body is good value based on its price to sales ratio compared to the estimated fair price to sales ratio, which I'm not sure what that stuff is. Maybe somebody here knows. I don't speak that language, so I'm not going to pretend like I know what the fuck it is because I don't. But this is it. The future growth. Beachbody's company's revenue is forecast to decline at 12.9% per annum, while its annual earnings are expected to grow at 73.1% per year. EPS is expected to grow by 74.5% per annum. But it's like they're basically like, okay, we're expecting things to decline. I mean, that's just never a good thing, that you're expecting things to decline. Body is forecast to remain unprofitable over this is what unprofitable over the next 3 years. Earnings versus market. Body is forecast to remain unprofitable over the next 3 years. High growth earnings. Body is forecast to remain unprofitable. Revenue versus market. Body's revenue is expected to decline over the next 3 years. High growth revenue. Body's revenue is forecast to decline. I mean, like everything is like, look, this is not a good idea unless you want to lose money. You shouldn't be coming here. It's kind of like what I'm getting out of it. Is it too late to sell short? I don't know, and I don't know how all of that stuff works. So I'm not the person to ask. So I have no idea, but I just find all of that so very interesting. Maybe we should, get Bill Ackman on it. So the future return on equity, insufficient data to determine if Body's return on equity is forecast to be high in 3 years' time. I'm kind of saying I don't think it is going to be. Just, Beachbody Company's earnings have been declining at an average of negative 21.9%, while the consumer services industry saw earnings growth at 25% annually, declining at an average of 14.1% per year. Now, I'm sure Carl is going to be like, well, it's just because, we went from being multi-level marketing to an omni-channel. That's why now. Well, is it? Exactly, insulin with no prospect of a turnaround. Right, Queen. A rebrand won't help. And that's kind of what they've been sort of doing, even though they just changed the name recently, but they've been doing things since 2017 to almost like retool what they were offering and kind of like internally rebrand stuff and change up around and everything. Now, I want to say it was during 2017 is also when they had that TV show, The 20s. Does anybody here remember The 20s? And within the 20s, they were going to find the next super trainer. I think they were called super trainers. And I think they did get one, but they did not repeat. You didn't have a season 2 or a season 3. You had one season of this. And then poof, gone. And I find that interesting because I think that was another stunt of Carl trying to breathe life into Beachbody. And it didn't work. Because, we've just been on the struggle bus. Just completely on the struggle bus. Quarterly earnings. Body is currently unprofitable. Growing profit margin. Body is currently unprofitable. For a company that's been around since 1998, for it to be unprofitable, that's a company personally I'm going to like run away. Run away. What do you guys think? Do you think that they can turn this ship around? I just don't know. I'm kind of thinking that right now with what Carl's doing, this is the last hurrah. This is it. And they do have debt. Because, they keep trying to breathe life into it because you got to spend some money, looking to make money, and then, you just don't. Total sharehold yield, negative 11.7%. No, I'm not really sure what that means. Again, this is not me. Right, like the Titanic. Pretty much. It's just, it's kind of just really scary looking at this. So, I mean, now that there's not Huns in the traditional way of we think of Huns, but there are still people who are, thinking they're going to be able to make money from this, and it's brought up on this call. And look at his salary is nearly $1 million. I mean, we're getting close to it, over $800,000 for his compensation. And then look up here on May 17th, Insider recently sold $453,000 worth of stock back in May. And another insider on March 27th sold $462,000 worth of stock. I mean, that should be telling them something, meaning the Huns. Oh, look, chief operating officer recently bought $175K worth of stocks. Oh, co-founder. Huh, interesting. Poor Jonathan. He got booted out. So there you go. I think all of that is a very interesting story, I think, in terms of a decline. Going from a powerhouse to a decline. Right, Joe? I could too. Carl's total compensation is above average for companies of similar size in U.S. market. Carl's compensation has increased while the company is unprofitable. Why would his salary increase when they're not profitable? Meanwhile, most of the people, if you became an emerald, you weren't making money. But Carl's like, yeah, I need me a raise. That's what I do. I need me a raise. I'm working hard over here. Forget about the Huns. I'm the one working hard. They're not. Bunch of losers. So it says, Mr. Carl Deichler is chairman and CEO of Beachbody LLC from 2022. He was chairman at the Beachbody Company until June 15th, 2023. He founded the Beachbody Company in 1998 and is its CEO and director since 1998. And I believe John Cogden also founded it with him, who now was, tossed out. Prior to Beachbody, Mr. Deichler worked at Guthy-Rinker, assisting with new products for infomercials. Who here remembers Guthy-Rinker? Because that is all in the video about Carl's past. Does anybody here remember Guthy-Rinker? Powerhouse to sour house. I like that, sweet goth. I like that a lot. Guthy-Rinker used to make, I think they're still around, but made infomercials, and I can't think of any of the products, but like late at night, literally there was like nothing on TV. You guys may remember that. And you'd get sucked in. I remember getting sucked in watching infomercials. Most of them all were Guthy-Rinker. And so you think how he took what he learned while being at Guthy-Rinker in terms of how to package things, how to market things, and how to get people to purchase it. And then he started doing infomercials himself for like P90X and gosh, I can't remember the other ones. Oh, when Shailene Johnson, it was Pio, whatever it was that she did. Pio, I think, is the one that she was always in, because that was her program. That makes sense. Doesn't it make sense that he was with them? Yeah, I think it's very eye-opening when you kind of put that together and
what that company is and what they did. So I found it interesting looking into his background because it was like, oh, okay, got it. I got it. Gotta love autocorrect. Okay, so he also runs the Beachbody Foundation, a nonprofit organization contributing to a number of foundations, such as the International Justice Mission, Hope of the Valley, NAACP, the Lakota Tribe, Upward Bound House, Go Campaign, and Save a Warrior. Mr. Deichler obtained a BA from Ithaca College. And then he created this monster. So now we have their leadership team. And it has changed a lot because most all of these names I do not recognize other than Carl. I think Kathy Vrayback. I think I remember that person. And I don't know how long everybody, it does tell us that it's tenure. No wonder I don't know who they all are. They're relatively new people. So that was that had to have been a shakeup, you know. Average tenure, 2.7 years. Average age, around 60. Has the board members. Who are the major shareholders and have insiders been buying and selling? Well, look, Jonathan Condon. That was the other co-founder. Isn't that interesting that he sold off the transactions? I figured it was him. Insider buying. Insufficient data to determine if insiders have bought more shares than they have sold in the past 3 months. Individual insiders. I'm kind of thinking that individual insiders and the general public, that this also includes coaches. And I don't know if any of the top coaches would be considered individual insiders because I know that they would go on retreats to corporate and stuff. So I'm not really sure on that. Oh, look, but we do get top shareholders. Carl has most of the shares. Then Rain Ventures, LLC. Then John Congdon after that. Then other companies. Until we get down to Michael Heller, which I don't know who that person is. BlackRock, I am familiar with them. Oh, there's a Kevin Meyer. It might be interesting to look up. Oh, look, Kathy Vrayback. Hi, we saw her name earlier. To look at what each of these things are and where each of these people are. About page for Guthrie Ranko, there is an old photo, and looming in the background is a young Tony Robbins. Yes. I find all of this stuff just so interesting. The Beachbody Company, sector consumer services, industry specialized consumer services. Huh. Really? Oh, look, and we can see the sharp decline of employees. And there we have the location in California, which is, it's not like that's not publicly known. I'm not doxing anything in case anybody's like, well, she's doxing the company. No, this is all publicly available. So there we have. So I found all of this interesting, but I do think maybe I might go and look into the shareholders and then come back and tell you who each of the people are and then what each of these companies do and stuff. Because I just find it interesting because I want to know who are these people. And will they be ending up getting rid of the stock themselves, like if they have any still? But Carl's sitting on a lot of it. No wonder he's anxious, No wonder. Okay. And then I also looked out at stuff on the contract terms for the body affiliates. But, it's interesting because they have ranks here. And I haven't really gone into all of that, but I'm like, why do we have ranks? Why is that? I thought that we didn't have ranks anymore. Just find it interesting. Okay, and then we're going to get into the earnings call. And I will make that bigger. Can I make myself go away if I click this one? Does that help? That better for you guys? You can still hear me, right? Right, Hard to Dog's a public company. Okay, you ready? You're going to have to tell me if you can hear this. We've got to play that game first. Okay, that was just some music. Hear this. Gotta let me know if you hear this. Let me know if you can hear it. Oh, someone who trained Tony with Jim Rohn. Oh, really? Yeah, Mark Hughes. I did a thing on Herbalife way back when I first started. Were you guys able to hear any of that music or anything? Let me know if you were in the comments, well, in the chat. The chitty chat, please. Please let me know if you could hear anything. Otherwise, we'll be playing, switcheroo, which is always an ever so popular and ever so fun game that I love to play, as do all of you. And I swear it's because of how I have my, shared screen thing going on here on my laptop while I'm in bed. You couldn't hear it? Okay. Thank you, Beth. Okay, let's stop sharing. Where do I go to get that? Here. How do I stop it? Cancel. Well, that didn't take it away. I really hate this, that I can't figure out how to smoothly share things. Nope, that didn't work either. Well, let's just do this. Okay, we'll just put that up there for now. Okay, so what if I... Oh, that's quite scary looking. And now I can't see what I'm sharing. Dang it. Oh, I can't do that because then I can't see anything. Okay, so we're just going to have to leave it like this, because if I try to increase it, then I will not be able to see anything at all. So I'll start it again, and you guys let me know if you can hear anything. Were you guys able to hear that? And I don't like that. It's like now everything is being shown. This is weird. Oh, that's because I am sharing the entire screen. Let's see. Let me try to do that. And do it like that. You guys didn't hear anything from this either? Well, why not? Because you should have.
Good afternoon. Thank you for attending today's The Beachbody.
So you guys aren't hearing any of that either. Let's see. Anything else I can do? Okay, let's try that. And now.
Body Company, Inc., third quarter 2024 earnings conference call.
Yeah, I played a little bit from there. Let me know if you had. You can now? Okay. Yay. You heard it a wee bit. Let's see. I can turn up my sound a little bit. Give me just a sec here. So now I've got to look for a different thing. Okay. And is there anything in here to turn it up? Oh, that's as high as it will go there. Okay, that's as high as it's going to go. All right, so let's just take it from there.
My name is Jalen. I'll be your moderator for today. All lines will be muted during the presentation portion of the call, with an opportunity for questions and answers at the end. I'd now like to turn the conference over to our host of the call. Please proceed.
Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining us for our third quarter earnings call. With me on the call today are Mark Goldston, Executive Chairman of the Beachbody Company, Carl Deichler, Co-founder and Chief Executive Officer, and Brad Ramberg, Interim Chief.
Can you guys hear that okay? Let me see if I turned that all the way up there too.
Chief Financial Officer. Following the prepared remarks, we'll open the call up for questions. Before we get started, I would like to remind you of the company's safe harbor language. Statements contained in this conference call, which are not historical facts, may be deemed to constitute forward-looking statements within the meaning of the Private Securities Litigation Reform Act of 1995. Actual future results may differ materially from those suggested by such statements due to a number of risks and uncertainties, all of which are described in the company's filings with the SEC, which includes today's press release. Today's call will include references to non-GAAP financial measures such as adjusted EBITDA, net cash, and free cash flows. A reconciliation of these non-GAAP financial measures to the most comparable GAAP financial measures is available within the earnings release, which can be found on our website. Now, I would like to turn the call over to Mark.
Thank you for joining us today. I'll begin by discussing our recent announcement on the restructuring of the company and the major change to the business model. Then I'll review some highlights of the third quarter performance and then update you on the progress of our turnaround plan. Then I'll turn the mic over to Carl Deichler, our CEO, to discuss our strategic initiatives in more detail. And that'll be followed by our interim CFO, Brad Ramberg, discussing our financial guidance and outlook. As of November 1st of 2024, Body has essentially become a new company from the one that previously existed. I know that's a bold statement, but it's emblematic of the massive change to our business model we effected, which is...
I just absolutely love that it's a new company. No, it's the same company. It's just like you put on a different shade of lipstick on the pig, in my opinion. That's all you did. Just change the lipstick color.
puts Body in a position to be a dynamic and more nimble company in 2025 and beyond. I would ask all investors and the analysts who cover Body to take a fresh look at the company's new business model and try to avoid direct comparisons with the company that we had prior to November 1st of 2020.
Don't compare it to multi-level marketing because we're not that anymore. I mean, we're obviously so completely different. We're not trying to breathe life into a dead horse. No. We're not doing that. I'm sorry. That's just kind of my thoughts of what I'm getting out of this. Don't pay attention to the past. Just look to the future because, this time we got it under control.
24. Let me briefly review what we've done to re-architect this great company and position ourselves for success going forward. First, we decided to eliminate the multi-level marketing or MLM structure that's been in place in this company since 2007. The MLM model is dated, cumbersome, expensive to operate, loaded with passive, non-performance compensation.
Isn't that interesting? It's expensive to operate, which, I always thought Carl was like, well, this way, we don't have to spend as much money because we can then give the money back to you. I kind of believe that's, I'm remembering that. Kind of believe that's what he used to say. I could be wrong on that. If anybody else remembers anything like that, please let me know.
Compensation expense that's paid to other people other than those who actually sell the product. And it places a time management burden on participants.
I wanted to look at this too.
You sell the product, and it places a time management burden on participants who have to recruit, manage, and also sell. And it carries a negative stigma, which is seemingly associated with all MLMs. And this inhibits new customer signups.
Seemingly associated with all MLMs. No, it is. It is. But I find it very interesting that this dude is like, there's a problem with this MLM structure. And because there's a problem with the MLM structure, we got rid of that. That it has been that since 2007. And all of a sudden, we're like, we just realized that it was a problem. And what has shifted? Because can anybody guess? I mean, have there been a lot of people speaking out about MLMs or anything? I think that's had a huge impact on many MLMs. I mean, this past year, and I don't remember how, I think it's like 6 different MLMs that have like dropped the MLM component and are doing something else. And they're trying to, still be going. But, the thing is like, once you're known to be I'll say a problematic company, a company that's operating on the edge of ethics, on the edge of scamming, I think it's going to be hard to shake that. Would you guys agree with that? We were scammed before, but trust me, bro, now, yeah, right? That's really what it is, sweet goth. I like that, yeah. Hey there, Mr. McNair. How are you, my love? Good to see you. And yeah, sweet goth, the naysayers, yes, people standing up. All of us standing up saying, yo, there's a problem here. This seems a little slim shady to me, or a lot slim shady. We don't like this. A lot of people are being ripped off. Got a problem with that. I think that's a good thing. Now, of course, that's not going to be brought up during a meeting like this, but damn well that shit's been discussed. Behind the scenes, Carl has been probably blowing a gasket, which, I wish I could see that.
And the attraction of new sellers. They're clearly
The attraction of new sellers. Oh boy. From what I've heard, and the subreddit that I get little messages from, it looks like there's been a lot of people that have abandoned ship. I don't see this being as something like, okay, imagine this, that now, for whatever reason, Beachbody is approaching some influencer, on social media outside of MLM's influencers and, people that are well known in that market, but other people. And are like, you too can be an affiliate for Body. And if that person does have a business manager, I would hope that business manager would look at the prospectus and look into the history of the company and be like, oh fuck no. I think it's going to be a hard sell, is my point, to get more people on board to be like, yeah, we can make money with this, because it's already on the decline, a very steep decline, a flat line, as we saw earlier. I mean, do you think I'm wrong in that? Or do you think people will be like, yeah, let's do that? I mean, maybe people that have been in on passive will see it as a way to earn money. I don't know. They might think it's a dandy idea. I sure hope not. But I just...
There was a time when the MLM model worked extremely well for this company. And we greatly appreciate the efforts of all those who participated. But in today's world, we believe the single level affiliate model is better suited to our business. The single level affiliate model, which became effective on November.
Because we're afraid to keep dealing with people speaking out about MLM. So we've just decided we're just not going to do that anymore because we just can't deal.
First, has no upline or downline management tree, no recruiting of new seller requirements, and importantly, no sharing of commissions with other people. In the new Body single affiliate level model, everyone is in business for themselves. They're independent, they're not part of a team, and they keep 100% of the commissions they earn on everything.
But are they actually in business for themselves? I would argue if they have a business themselves, then they have a business. But being an affiliate for Beachbody isn't a business per se. Or do you guys think I'm wrong about that?
Thing they sell. No more sharing of commission. This is a huge change, and it's one that provides all Body affiliates with an uncapped pay-for-performance.
And that's the thing, Sweet Goth. I mean, from what I saw, we did see that there were some ranks, and it's not explained to us what those ranks are. I mean, I don't know if there's anything publicly facing that will tell us what that stuff means. But I'm interested. I'd like to know.
Performance compensation model. It's really quite simple.
Hey,
the more you sell, the more you make, and you don't share your earnings with anyone to manage. So the affiliate model will result in a material improvement in our return on ad spend, lifetime value, and with our lower cost model, it'll significantly improve our economics.
Really on ads. Now, granted, like I think I told you guys this before, on Amazon, there's a Shakeology shop now. So they're still going to be in competition with the people selling, because they're going to be selling to the public, and anybody who's an affiliate is going to be selling to the public. And so again, direct competition. How do you build a business in which you compete with the people who join?
The incentive for new Body affiliate sellers is pretty clear. In the affiliate world, where commission rates typically range from 5 to 25%, a Body affiliate will earn much more than that, with commission levels in the 35 to 50% range. This is a highly...
Will they? Will they really earn much more than that? Maybe if there's the potential to, but in actuality, because they're still going to have to convince people to buy overpriced bullshit.
Highly attractive proposition to the thousands of sellers who were previously in our network, as well as for the millions of affiliate sellers in the market today. The affiliate model just began taking signups on November 1st, and we're extremely pleased with the number of signups that we have to date.
We're so pleased that we're not going to tell you how many signups we have, but we're pleased with the number. Why don't you say what that number is then? So that we know. Why don't you say how many partners you had and now how many affiliates you have? Why don't you release that math, huh? Because I think that would be interesting to know. I mean, I'm very interested to know about that. I think you guys would be interested in that. And I would think anybody who's a shareholder would want to see what is the difference. Is this really going somewhere where we're going to be able to recover? Or is this just a bunch of bullshit? Big old bucket of hooey. I'm voting for bucket of
Beachbody
hooey.
business model features a multi-channel approach that's now unencumbered by the pricing and customer mapping constraints of the former MLM model. In addition to the new affiliate model, we have a dynamic direct response marketing unit, a growing Amazon business, and we're developing new products in the nutrition segment under the P90X and Insanity brand.
Very proud of, having the Amazon shop. Again, I point out that is in direct competition with anybody who is an affiliate. I think about, okay, there's a few places where I like to shop for clothes with the type of things that I wear. One of the places that I like clothes from is called Hell Bunny. However, I have found a company called Rorox often offers a lot of Hell Bunny stuff at a price that's less than what I have found it on Hell Bunny. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go over to Rorox. Now, I had a reason for telling you this shit. Oh, yes, because the same thing with going straight with an affiliate versus on Amazon. Because on Amazon, specials can be, run there. And Beachbody could offer specials there that maybe the affiliates aren't privy to. But people who might come across this might be like, oh, I'm just shopping for stuff on Amazon. And I was talking to Josie Sue over here. Oh, look what Josie Sue is telling me about. I can get it over here for $20 cheaper. Where is Josie Sue? She's like, no, buy it from me. And you're like, no, I can get it $20 cheaper over here. Can you do that? No, I can't. And so then what? Again, they're competing with their affiliates. And I think that's going to be problematic. But you may pick up people who shop on Amazon and stumble across your stuff. And if you do offer anything like have specials running on stuff, people will be more inclined to probably buy it that way than to buy it through Josie Sue. I don't know why I came up with the name Josie Sue, but I just did. It just seems like Josie Sue would be selling this.
Brand names, which are expected to be introduced in 2025 and 2026 respectively, and will be sold in major retailers within the affiliate network and through our direct.
Okay, so now we're going to have other products that will be sold also through other major retailers and through the affiliates. So it really sounds like that they're going to be pushing this stuff to be sold through other retail channels. And they're just like, oh, yeah, you can be an affiliate, if you want to sell this stuff. I just think that is kind of not where the money meets the road, so to speak. That's not what Carl is banking on. It sounds like what he's banking on is these other retail outlets, which could be like Target and Walmart, Costco, Sam's, it could be places like that. And maybe you'll see it at TJ Maxx and at Marshall's. I don't know. But, it just doesn't sound like it's going to go into, I don't know, sports. Like here in the Houston area, we have Academy. I don't know if Academy is outside of the state or not. But, it says like sports and outdoor type stuff. And there's other stores like that. I don't know if they'll sell them like that too. But you're going to be hard pressed to find people who are not aware of the name of some of these products unless they start pumping out programs and stuff that no one has heard of, so they're not going to associate it with Beachbody. But at some point, the cat will be let out of the bag, I think.
Response business. Remember, Body has never marketed any of our current nutritional supplements in our direct response business due to the pricing and customer mapping constraints of the former MLM model. Now, that's all changed. And for the first time ever, we can actually market products like Shakeology, Energize, and the new product lines we're developing, and we can sell them direct to consumer through our direct response unit and then advertise them on Facebook, Google, TikTok, and YouTube, which we could never do before. Since my arrival as executive chairman 18 months ago, we've conducted a comprehensive turnaround. This involved a massive infrastructure change, and this resulted in a reduction of the company's cash break.
You guys, I am going to have to put this on pause for a second, and I'll come back. The call that I just got that came through on my computer, and I apologize for that. I need to go make a phone call, so I'm going to put on my little intermission stuff. So go get an adult beverage, get a snack, do whatever it is that you need to do, and I'll be back soon. I just need like a few minutes, by the way, like, maybe 5 minutes, just so that you know. Give me a moment. Alrighty, are you with me, guys? Sorry about that. Thank you very much for being patient and all of that. I appreciate it. Okay. I told you it wouldn't take very long, and it didn't. He has to buy it more than the websites are selling it. Yeah. Yep. Hello there, Mr. Nural. I don't know if I'm saying the name correctly, but I think the MD stands for Muhammad. I'm not sure, but welcome. Thanks for joining. Had to get me a little sippy poo. So let's go back and, listen to more of this earnings call. And I will say, anytime, especially a company that's been around since 1998, and they're continuing to change course, for lack of a better thing, and it just seems like continuing to try to reinvent itself year after year, and that's been going on for the last 5 years that I've noticed. Like there's been this constant flurry of, we're going to do this now. Oh, that didn't work. Well, we're going to do this. Well, how about this? At some point, that horse that like kind of fell over and really isn't breathing anymore, you got to let it go. And I really feel like Carl is just trying to give it mouth to mouth, and it just isn't working very well. And, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there will be a comeback, but I just don't see that happening. But I could be wrong. Maybe it's because I'm just like, I would just like to see it crumble because of, I just would, I know there's a lot of stories about Carl and how he has behaved at Summit and on retreats and things. And I'll just say that his behavior, from what I've heard, and I'm not going to repeat because it'd be like rumors that I would be sharing with you guys, but from what I've heard, I'm not terribly shocked or surprised, but the behavior is completely inappropriate for a CEO. Does that mean Carl is the only CEO that's being inappropriate? Absolutely not. But the things that I've heard that he's done, if it's true, very problematic.
Break-even level by several $100 million from where it was in 2022. Today, we're a much leaner company that's poised to generate significant operating leverage when we achieve top line.
Wait, let me see that, because Sweetgoth says, it's still as culty with the change. I bet it is. I bet it is too. Now, I haven't heard any, I guess they're not doing any like rank advancements or anything. And maybe I need to really go and look at the main page of like where they would have their national wake up call, which is always on every Monday. And it used to be just like you would call in, but then they started streaming it on Facebook. So I'm just kind of wondering, maybe I'll go and look as we're listening to this so I can kind of report back. It just didn't dawn on me to go and do that in advance. Let me just be honest with you guys. I just didn't think about it, but I think that is important to look at. Joe says, I wouldn't doubt those stories about any big shot. Yeah, exactly. It's very cringy, and it's like, ugh, just cringy. Does Carl like to show off the body to affiliates who aren't his wife? I see what you did there. I see what you did, Chris. Yeah. He's Salsa, that was my foot. He tends to want to be very close to other females. I'll just leave it at that. That's from the very nice and polite way that I can put things of what I've heard. That what I'm repeating is a rumor. So I'm not saying this is factual, but I've heard it from multiple places. And when you start hearing kind of this similar stories from different people of what they witnessed and stuff at these events, it's like you kind of start thinking, that might be true. Might be true. Oh,
and growth in the future as a result of the major reduction in overhead. Now let's take a look at our performance highlights of the third quarter. Our revenues were in line with the midpoint of our guidance, and we achieved extremely healthy gross margins, which improved by 880 basis points year over year. Adjusted EBITDA significantly exceeded guidance of $2 to $6 million by coming in at $10.1 million. This is a massive $15.9 million improvement versus the third quarter of last year, when we posted a $5.8 million adjusted EBITDA loss. This marks our fourth consecutive quarter of positive adjusted EBITDA. Year to date, we've generated $19.6 million of adjusted EBITDA. That is a $31.1 million adjusted EBITDA improvement from the $11.5 million loss in the prior year-to-date period. Additionally, we generated more than $5.3 million of positive free cash flow year-to-date, and that compares to a cash burn of $20.1 million from the comparable period. This reflects a $25.4 million improvement. The first phase of our turnaround centered on lowering our infrastructure costs and re-architecting our financial model. I'm pleased to report that our third quarter and year-to-date results demonstrate that we have successfully completed our goal by generating positive adjusted.
No, the music, I added the music to it. It's not part of their presentation. That's me.
EBITDA and free cash flow. We've significantly reduced our GAAP net losses while dramatically lowering the cash break-even level. Now, we're entering the next phase of our journey, and this portion is focused on unlocking the top-line potential. With that being said, I'd like to turn the call over to Carl, and he'll discuss our strategic initiatives as we move into the next phase of our transformation. Carl?
Thanks, Mark. The third quarter results are a great indication of how the company is.
I will have to say, listening to this, Carl doesn't sound like himself. The first time, because I've heard this, I've listened to it like 3 or 4 times. And when I heard them like, now Carl will talk, I'm like, is that a different Carl? No, it's the same Carl. He's not high energy at all. He seems very downtrodden, in my opinion. And you guys, you tell me if he seems, the typical high energy.
Is navigating this turnaround and how disciplined the team has been in delivering on exactly what we've outlined. We know the demand is there. We know the opportunity is significant. As we've done for 26.
How do you know the demand is there? Can you, give us the metrics? Again, like if they would actually give some numbers on this stuff other than just broadly saying, well, we know it. By what means? How do you know that? What does your market research tell you? Where are the numbers on that? I'd like to know that.
6 years, we're determined to help people get fit and healthy. This mission is more important than ever, especially with the rise of GLP-1 drugs that require a healthy lifestyle to truly get the benefit of this new category of pharmaceuticals. So we're staying focused on execution. And as proud as I am of our third quarter results, our focus is now on helping our thousands of partners transition to affiliates, making this shift from network marketing productive for them and for the company. Let me give a little more color.
Now, how is it that you're going to shift them from multi-level marketing to affiliate when they leave? And there's been a significant amount of people who have left. So I guess the stragglers, you're going to do that. And what's interesting is today I looked at the person who was on the tippy top. And if you don't know who that is, her name is Lindsay Matway. And her website, there's still an intake form to basically become a coach. Everything on her website is like all outdated.
And I already knew she had like this lash extension type business thing or lash business also going too. But I'm like, what are you really doing, Lindsay? You haven't even like updated your website at all. And you would think like after the news came out, she would kind of do something to, refresh the website and kind of take things away that are no longer part of what she does. Unless she's going to be like, well, I'll still be an affiliate. People will buy shit from me. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't looked to see if she's like out there and shilling it on, on Facebook or something, if she's doing any streams and stuff. But it's just very interesting. As I looked at her website, I was like, this is all dated. And it looks like you haven't done a thing. Oh, no, you haven't.
Color on the rationale of this transition, because the 17 years we spent in the network were incredibly productive. But over the last 2 years, negative sentiment toward the multi-level model has made acquiring new customers increasingly difficult. Strategy where we de-emphasized our offerings on our primary direct-to-consumer website to drive customers to the network website called teambeachbody.com. Not only did this cause confusion and increased friction, but we also noticed that conversion rates on the Team Beachbody site were significantly lower than our direct-to-consumer site. We have some of the best fitness programs and nutrition.
Wow. You were doing more conversions on the consumer-facing site than Team Beachbody. Now, doesn't that tell you some shit that if you had been a coach, which, I mean, that is something that, people have talked about. I know I've talked about it in the past of like how they were competing with the coaches, and they're still doing that with the affiliates, like with having the Amazon shop and everything. If they were selling more stuff just on that website that went just to consumers and not the Team Beachbody, well, that tells me that, people really didn't give a flying rat's ass about having a coach. The only people who gave a flying rat's ass about having a coach were other coaches, so they could make money for people joining their teams.
Products in the industry. But we were creating an obstacle for the customer to purchase because of growing resistance to the MLM business model. At the same time, our field of partners were increasingly challenged to recruit new sellers and with managing their downline organizations, which took their focus away from the important work of selling and helping new customers get started. Likewise, the majority of our partners weren't optimizing their earning potential because their compensation was being shared, and that resulted in declining motivation and productivity. By changing to an affiliate model, we're modernizing the way we sell by keeping our field of partners 100% focused.
How are you modernizing? I mean, affiliate marketing has been around for a while. You didn't change to it like as soon as that became a thing. You were like hanging on to the MLM until you realized, we've really lost a lot of people. I mean, I'm sure you saw the data yourself, Carl, and saw everything was crashing and burning. Do you really think that you've rescued it now that you have a huge new leadership team and everything, which I think that's really kind of shitty of the other people who had been there for a very long time, and you're just like, out with the old. Got a bunch of newbies now. They're sure going to come up with some ideas. I get, so you don't have any more. Those people didn't have any more. You really think that it's going to work?
On selling without the additional burden of recruiting and managing a team. And now our partners have the opportunity to maximize their earnings because they no longer have to share it with an upline, which we believe will lead to increased motivation and sales productivity. This change not only unlocks the selling opportunity for our partners, but also opens up all our sales channels to be far more cooperative with each other and competitive in the marketplace, which means we can help more people get healthy and active, which has been the thing that has set us apart for 26 years. These changes have allowed us to expand our presence on Amazon with new products and aligned pricing. We're launching on Walmart.com in the fourth quarter.
Remember, I did say Walmart, so there you have it. You can get it at Walmart, you can get it at Amazon, or you can get it from, should I say Jody Sue? You can get it from Jody Sue. What are you going to do? You're at Walmart and, you're going there, they're getting some groceries and stuff. And all of a sudden you see this product and you're like, but Jody Sue told me about this. I should just get, no, I'm picking it up now because look, it's on sale. I mean, you see what I'm saying here? It just really seems like this affiliate thing just isn't going to work out. And before you know it, all of the Beachbody stuff is you're going to find it all like, I guess at resale shops at TJ Maxx in the sell bin. I just don't see this going anywhere good. Am I the only one that's thinking like this? Am I just negative? Is that my problem? I'm just negative.
And we're also planning to expand our affiliate program to TikTok shops by Q2 2025. It really is liberating for the company because it gives our stellar products a chance to reach more people through a much wider variety of channels without competing with ourselves, but instead with the kind of promotional synergy that drove our growth for 2 decades. After announcing the change to the affiliate model, many of our partners actually expressed relief at no longer having to dodge the question, is this an MLM? And some of our most successful partners who had stopped promoting Body because affiliate marketing is just simpler and more productive, well, they're now excited to return and promote our products and programs. And I recently read that 90% of people won't even answer a call if they think it's related to an MLM. What an obstacle to helping people.
Geez, Carl, that's been like that for a long ass time. And now you're making it sound like, oh, that was an obstacle. Meanwhile, previously, you were saying like how great the MLM model was and how fantabulous everything was. But man, you've turned the cheek and you're just basically, man, that was sucky. I mean, oh my gosh, that was a barrier. Duh.
Like we're already doing something difficult, trying to help people exercise and improve their nutrition. So it just didn't make sense anymore to also try to overcome the MLM stigma, despite the incredible work and determination of our partners. So we've collaborated with top affiliate marketers to create a program that's compelling for our partners while also financially viable and immediately scalable for the company. This program leverages our experience rewarding our customers for sharing their success on social media without the MLM burden. I'll provide a full update on the affiliate transition at our next earnings call after Q4. However, while still early, I can already say that we're very pleased with the number and quality of partners who signed up to be affiliates since the November 1st launch. And this should bode well for the highly anticipated launch.
But I'm not going to give you the numbers. That's the part that bothers me. I'm pleased with the numbers that I'm not going to tell you what they are. Why are you hiding that? Come out and say it. I mean, I want the hard numbers. And I think the people that you're, giving this information to, the shareholders themselves, they deserve to know.
Of our new program coming in December called Belle Vitale, which we believe will be a significant addition.
Oh, by the way, I did look at their Facebook page, and that's all they're doing is promoting Belle Vitale, and that's with Autumn. And Autumn, honestly, she looks horrible in my opinion. I mean, she looks sickly. So I want to do a program where the person who created it just looks sickly. No, thank you.
To the portfolio. Belle Vitale is our comprehensive women's hormone health program that was developed by Autumn Calabrese. She's the fitness and nutrition expert who also created the successful 4-week gut protocol for us in 2022. This new program addresses issues associated with women's hormone imbalances, including persistent weight loss struggles and symptoms like low energy, night sweats, and hot flashes. Belle Vitale offers a specific step-by-step nutrition plan, an incredibly innovative fitness program using the inexpensive door track device to replicate the experience of studio Pilates equipment, and 2 new proprietary supplements for metabolism.
That's something else that Beachbody started doing. Is there used to be a fuck ton of programs where you did not need any equipment, and then all of a sudden, everything that came out there was additional equipment because Carl could tack on more that coaches would be buying, because who were the customers? The coaches, the partners, whatever the hell you want to call them. It was all the network. Other than that,
blood sugar, hormone, and stress support. BelVital will also include access to the award-winning Breathwork app. This program is a big deal. In over 2 decades of running this company, I have never seen 12-week results like we've seen from the testing of BelVital. And our partners are excited to sell the program as affiliates, since they'll no longer share commissions with the multi-level upline. Our plan to further expand our nutrition business is also enhanced by this change to the affiliate model. The affiliate model and performance marketing work together to increase visibility and demand for products like Shakeology and the Body Performance line, which have never been marketed outside the network model before. So as we roll out advertising for our supplements, affiliates will now promote the same special offers to their audience on social media, creating a rising tide that lifts all ships. The launch of 2 new supplements with the BelVital program is particularly exciting, as test participants actually asked to buy the supplements they used in the test so they could continue taking them. This is unprecedented demand coming out of a test group and further positions us for profitable top-line growth, given the far larger TAM, about 12 times, for nutrition supplements compared to digital fitness. Finally, our partnerships activity is gaining momentum. We're launching a special offer in conjunction with the American Diabetes Association going into the new year, including a fitness program and effective, easy-to-follow eating plans. And we're ramping up promotion of our collaboration with Dr. B and TrueMed to offer HSA and FSA reimbursement for our programs and supplements, allowing customers to save 40% by paying with pre-tax dollars. All this is to say, we're actively executing on the second phase of our turnaround. Our products are second to none, and we're very excited about the renewed opportunity to create velocity as we go into the new product launches at the end of this quarter, plus aggressive promotional strategies for the first quarter of 2025. Okay, now let me turn the call over to our interim CFO, Brad Ramberg, for the details on Q3.
Thanks, Carl, and thank you everyone for joining the call today. I will review our Q3 results and provide our outlook for the fourth quarter. Just to reiterate, the company achieved revenue of $102 million, which was the midpoint of our guidance range of $97 million to $107 million, and we substantially beat our adjusted EBITDA guidance of $2 million to $6 million, coming in at $10.1 million for Q3 2024. This quarter marks our 4th consecutive quarter of positive adjusted EBITDA. Now let me get into the specifics of Q3. Revenues for the third quarter were $102 million, in line with the midpoint of our guidance range. Sequentially, revenues declined 7%, and year-over-year, revenues declined 20%. Q3 gross margins were 67.3% and declined 200 basis points over the prior quarter, but increased 880 basis points compared to the prior year. We're pleased to report that consolidated gross margins are within our long-term target of 65 to 70%. Moving to digital and nutrition revenue and gross margins. Digital revenue decreased by 8.6% from the prior quarter to $53.7 million.
it is a live call because there will be a Q&A at the end of it, just so that you know. It does sound, it's not very crisp. It really sounds very staticky and stuff. And I don't know if it's because of how they're recording it or why the clarity isn't there, but it's just not.
And decreased by 16.5% year over year. Revenues were impacted due to pressure in our digital subscriber count, which decreased 3.8% sequentially to 1.1 million and declined 19.7% compared to the same period a year ago. Nutrition revenue decreased 5.4% from the prior quarter to 47.4 million and decreased 19.6% year over year. Nutrition subscriptions declined 11.2% sequentially to 130,000 and fell 27.3% year over year. Now, as Carl and Mark mentioned earlier, we are very excited about our move away from the MLM distribution model to a single-level affiliate model, which will broaden our points of distribution and unlock our sales potential. Digital gross margin was 80.5% for the quarter, in line with the prior quarter, and representing a 600 basis point improvement from the prior year. The continued strength in year-over-year gross margin was due to lower depreciation expenses and driven by the end of useful life of certain fixed assets and lower content CapEx and related amortizations as we continue to lower our production spend. Nutrition gross margin was 58.6%, representing a 220 basis point decline from the prior quarter and a 390 basis point improvement year over year. The decline from the prior quarter gross margin was primarily due to seasonal MLM-related events. The gross margin strength from prior year was primarily driven by lower depreciation expense and a slight decrease in freight expenses. Moving on to operating expenses. Operating expenses for the quarter, which included $5.1 million in restructuring charges related to the pivot, declined 4.7% sequentially and 21.4% year over year to $81.8 million. Selling and marketing expense as a percent of revenue declined 650 basis points over the prior quarter and 930 basis points year over year to 44.6%. This significant improvement over the prior year was driven by a decrease in media spend and changes to our partner compensation plan. The improvement over the prior quarter was driven by a decrease in media spend and fewer MLM-related events. Enterprise technology and development expense increased 340 basis points from the prior quarter and increased 430 basis points year over year to 19% of revenue. The increase was primarily due to approximately $2.9 million in accelerated depreciation expense recorded in the current quarter related to pivot-impacted assets. G&A was 11.5% of revenue, increasing 30 basis points sequentially, essentially in line with prior year. We continue to drive expenses to the run rate of our business. Net loss was $12 million compared to a net loss of $10.9 million from the prior quarter. Our net loss in Q3 included $9.2 million of pivot-related restructuring expenses. Without these restructuring expenses, our net loss would have been $2.8 million for the quarter. Net loss improved from the $32.7 million net loss from the prior year. Adjusted EBITDA was $10.1 million compared to $4.9 million in the prior quarter and a $5.8 million loss in the third quarter of last year. This is our fourth consecutive quarter of positive adjusted EBITDA. Next, moving on to the balance sheet and cash flows. Our cash balance of $32.3 million was unchanged compared to $32.3 million in the prior quarter, and our net cash position.
You know, I do find it interesting, even though there's a loss, net loss, net loss. He's trying to spin this of like, look, we're making great strides. Are you? Who are you trying to convince? Because, you know, you're not convincing me. I don't think you're convincing anybody who's in chat. Are you convincing yourself? I'd like to know. Who's being convinced by this?
Was $10.6 million at the end of the quarter. Our cash generated in operations for the 9 months ended was $9.3 million versus cash used in operations of $14.6 million for the 9 months ended last year, a $24 million positive swing in cash generated from operations. Year to date, we generated $5.3 million in positive free cash flow compared to a negative $20 million over the same period last year. We are pleased that we are generating positive free cash flow as we execute through the first phase of our turnaround. The outstanding principal balance of our debt was $25.3 million as of September 30th. In October, we worked with our lender, Blue Torch Capital, to align our covenants with a new business model that we have just embarked on. This resulted in the removal of minimum revenue requirements. We implemented a reduced minimum liquidity covenant, and we've added a minimum consolidated adjusted EBITDA covenant. Lastly, turning to our outlook for the fourth quarter. We expect fourth quarter revenues to be in the range of $77 to $87 million. We expect a net loss in the range of $21 to $17 million, which includes an estimated $9 million of pivot-related charges. And we expect adjusted EBITDA in the range of $2 million to $6 million. Now let me turn the call back over to Mark for closing comments before we start our Q&A.
In closing, I want to emphasize the transformative journey BODi has undertaken. By pivoting from an MLM,
The transformative journey. That's a good one. Look, it's a transformative journey. It's just another journey. Like, why is it these people like to use journey? Why? Because, like if you're the hunt, it's not a fun journey. If you're an affiliate, I don't think it's going to be a fun journey either. Who's exactly having fun on the journey?
MLM network to a single level affiliate network, we have massively unburdened our infrastructure. This strategic shift not only positions us to significantly increase our profitability, but also enhances our agility and allows us to respond swiftly to market demand. We've successfully removed the stigma associated with the MLM, and this has enabled us to maximize individual channels.
But have you actually removed the stigma of MLM? I mean, on paper, but what about reality? I would say the test of time will tell, I think it'll be interesting to see how fourth quarter did. And I think it'll be interesting of how first quarter of, 2025, how that shapes out too. This next year, I think will be very, very telling in terms of where BODi will be going. And I just don't foresee them having this massive turnaround, especially competing in the health and wellness niche. And there have been newer things that have been created. Like I know a lot of people that are doing Peloton. And that's much better than whatever their bike thing was. There's always going to be something else that's newer, shinier, and better. And I think that they're going to be running into a problem trying to compete with that, especially as the demographics have changed of who they're targeting. I just don't think that Gen Z is going to be all that interested in BODi. What do you guys think?
Without constraints of our MLM. With these strategic changes, we're now poised to run a pure direct-to-consumer business. This new model unlocks the top-line potential for BODi, providing us with a clear path to sustainable growth.
Okay, operator, we can now open it up for questions, please.
If you would like to ask a question, it is star followed by 1 on your telephone keypad. If for any reason you would like to remove that question, please press star followed by 2. Again, to ask a question, it is star 1. As a reminder, if you're using a speakerphone.
Angel, I think that's a really good point in which she says that, in her opinion, BODi would have a better chance to turn it around by sticking with the name recognition they had from Beachbody. Because nobody really knows who the hell BODi is. Sweet God says the newer generations are smarter and know scams better than we do. I have hope. And that's the thing. And that's why I don't think they're going to be attracted to this. I don't think that they're going to be able to catch their attention. Or if they do, to be able to keep the retention, Maybe a few will be like, oh, yeah, I'll try that. And then after they do, they're like, yeah, no. I do not see this being successful. When will we break even? Well, considering they keep on reporting how many millions they're losing because of the pivot, that's a really good question. It's a really good question. Couldn't tell you. Don't know the answer. Sorry.
Phone, please remember to pick up your handset before asking a question. We'll pause briefly here as questions are registered. Our first question comes from Susan Anderson with the company Canaccord Genuity. Susan, your line is now open.
Hi, good evening. Thanks for taking my questions. I was wondering if maybe you could expand on the revenue guidance for fourth quarter. It looks like it's a little bit of a step down from third quarter. So I'm curious, is this going to be consistent across the digital and nutrition businesses, or is it one over the other? And then I guess how should we just think about that step down? Thanks.
Hi, Susan. Thanks for calling today. This is Brad. So
Hi, Brad.
Q4 is traditionally a soft. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes.
I can hear you.
Okay, great. Oh, perfect. Hi, Susan. Now, Q4 is traditionally a softer quarter for the company, so we do have some seasonality. In addition, this is a bit of a transitional quarter for us. This is the first quarter that we're going into the affiliate model. So, as Carl mentioned, we're very happy with the number of affiliates that are starting to sign up with the company. And there's some training that takes time for them to get used to the new software. So that is well underway. So I would view really Q4 as really a transition away from the network into the affiliate model. And I would expect the mix between digital and nutrition to remain steady as it's been the last couple of quarters. I wouldn't expect much of a shift in this quarter. And as the affiliates gain traction, we'll report on that when we report next quarter earnings.
Okay, great. That's helpful. That makes sense. And then I know you're not giving too many details yet on the new business model, but maybe if you could just kind of talk about the logistics on how that transition to the affiliate program is going to work. So it sounds like you mentioned that there's already been some former partners sign up. So I guess, do existing partners basically go on the platform, re-sign up, and then start selling? And then also, I'm curious just how you're marketing this new program to maybe some other potential people out there that may want to be part of it. Thanks.
Hi, Susan. It's Carl. Great question. So, we're very pleased with the transition of former network partners over to affiliate and the enthusiasm that they've got for the more agile.
But I'm still not going to give you any numbers.
Business model. We're approaching this from three levels. Obviously, we want to maximize the opportunity for our former network partners. So we've given them the incentive to come over and sign up in November in order to be participating in the highest bonus tier, which, as Mark mentioned, unlocks the potential for commissions between 35 and 50%. And we will continue then to open it up to our very broad database to allow for both our current subscribers and lapsed subscribers to come in and participate in this almost like a refer a friend type of program, because it's the barrier of entry is so low, there's no cost to get started, and it's very easy just to put a link up and say, hey, why don't you join me and do this program with me? So it's an opportunity for everybody to monetize their health and fitness. Finally, we launched this affiliate program on probably the largest affiliate platform in the world, impact.com, with the intent that we might be able to penetrate into their over 300,000 existing affiliates on their platform with one of the most aggressive commission structures in the industry. So we are hoping and initiating in the end of November going into December to see how many of those existing affiliates on the impact.com platform we might be able to bring in.
Is it just me, or is he doing a lot of him and it's like Carl is usually way smoother in his conversation and his rebuttal and his answering questions, way smoother, more energy, and he just doesn't sound like he's sure. I really feel like there's just this cloud of doubt over him. Yay, cloud of doubt.
Susan, this is Mark. Hey, just to follow on, just to close the loop in what Carl just said and what Brad shared with you. So this fourth quarter is really sort of a transition trough quarter for us, because we announced in October that we were going to be moving out of the network. So you had a little bit of the Band-Aid pull off in that. And then we didn't start taking affiliates as signups until November 1st. So that's continuing. We're barely 2 weeks into that.
and they have to get used to selling on a new structure with a new system. So really December will be the first sort of pure affiliate month, because October is still a little bit of a hybrid. November is a little bit of a hybrid, a little bit of network, a little bit of affiliate. December will be all affiliate. So we had a bridge somewhere, and we decided Q4, since it's a seasonally lower quarter anyway, was the time to execute the bridge to the other side, because you definitely would not want to do that in Q1, which is your seasonally strongest period.
Yeah. Okay. That definitely makes sense. And then maybe if you could just expand on the Belle Vitale program. Is this still in test phase, or I guess when you guys expect it to be up and running? And I guess in terms of just like fitting into your existing programs, is it mainly going to be nutritional products that come out of that, as well as, you know, key advice for women, or how should we think about that? Thanks.
Yeah, this is a super exciting program. It's done its testing. We finished that testing late this summer with incredible results. Everybody in it had improvement in.
But I'm not going to give you what those results actually are. I'm going to give you a broad state. And I'm not going to tell you how many were testing this or anything, or who they were. I'm just going to say that it happened. I mean, it really bothers me how there's just such generic things said with no specificity. Did I say that word right? Specificity? Being specific. I'll just say that. That's just easier to say. Being specific, you know. And that's what I want. I think that always is something that irritates me, is when there's just a broad brush stroke and you don't get down to, you know, the fine print of it all. Because that's what is important, is like, well, what does that break down to? Because you're going to get information from that. But just kind of basically saying, it's all great. No, it doesn't. What do you guys think?
Their overall symptoms from hormone imbalances and significant weight loss, upwards of, I think our highest was a little over 26 pounds in 12 weeks. It is a comprehensive program, including this innovative fitness program, which mimics the kind of Pilates moves that you would do on an expensive reformer or Cadillac machine with inexpensive equipment you can use at home. An easy to follow step-by-step nutrition plan that has phases over the course of the 12 weeks. It has access to the Breathwork app, so to help people reduce stress with breathing exercises, and 2 proprietary supplements that we're excited to add to the catalog. We will sell this as one bundle for $299 starting December 10th, and we already have thousands of reservations effectively based on letting people register for early bird access to it back in August. So we're very excited about this launch, about what it does for the end of December and also going into the first quarter.
Okay, great. That sounds exciting. And was that $299? You mentioned, was it a couple months or something like that?
It's $299 for the comprehensive 3-month program. The nutritionals are on what we call a continuity. So when they buy, they get the first month, and then they automatically ship until they cancel. And that's an interesting footnote to it. I mentioned in my opening remarks that for the first time, we had a test group that finished, like a test group, they get it for free, right?
Is it just me, or did he say $299? The first 3 months, $299. Is that what he said? Isn't that kind of a pricey? Or did I hear that correctly? Because that would be a hard sell. If you're an affiliate, that's a hard sell. Now, if somebody's going out and looking for something on a website like Amazon or Walmart, now that we know they're going to be through Walmart too, and you can buy shit, you know, don't have to be in the store, you can buy online. That may be more appealing to some people to buy something online, but not to go through an affiliate.
This is the first time we've ever had participants in a test group actually offer to buy the supplements after that test was done, which was a very encouraging.
Thank you for letting me know that is what I heard, because that's like, I'm like, surely maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't. But no, I did. I did. You know. And just to say it as if it's no big thing. Yeah, if it's $2.99, not $300, because I mean, one more dollar and that's going to break. I always hate that stupid shit in marketing. You know, like, oh, they're not going to think 300 when they see $2.99. I sure as hell am. Fuck.
Encouraging in terms of what the ongoing demand for these supplements will be when people finish the 12-week program.
Okay, great. That sounds exciting. I'll go ahead and pass it along.
Thank you, Susan.
Our next question comes from Chris Sakai with the company Singular Research. Chris, your line is now open.
Hi, yes, I'm in for Gaushi. Can you provide more details on the features and capabilities of the centralized e-commerce platform at Body.com? How does it differ from your previous digital offerings?
Well, essentially, this is Mark. Essentially, in the previous structure with the MLM, we didn't really have a very robust Body.com direct-to-consumer website because we were somewhat hamstrung by some of the equivalency issues that were posed by the MLM. So people were sent by those in the network who would sell.
The fuck you were. Oh my gosh, leaning on the MLM was holding us back. No, it wasn't. What an excuse. Again, we're just going to blame the Huns. Even though a long time ago we decided to go with the MLM model, now we're just saying, oh, that was a terrible decision, even though you stuck with it for decades.
Sell them. They were sent to a site called teambeachbody.com. So we had sort of a bifurcated approach. And our general consumer website, body.com, didn't even sell our nutritional products direct to the consumer. You actually had to come in through a referral from the former MLM network. That's all going away. Team Beachbody will be gone. Body.com will be the primary DTC website for the company. You'll be able to buy all of our products there. And when an affiliate...
Angel, you brought up a really good point. And Angel says, I think the price point is on purpose to phase out the affiliates. Because, yeah, once, enough of those drop off and they decide, we really don't need affiliates, well, then all they're going to do is be selling it on, Walmart and Amazon. Gone will be the glory days. Glory days. Flush down the drain.
Affiliate provides you with a link which gives them credit for the sale. They'll be sending you there to transact your purchases. So it's no more captive sales, no more captive MLM, no more bifurcated approach. Everything will be focused against the single powerful direct-to-consumer website called body.com. All of our products will be sold there, and that's where people will be directed to transact.
I'll also add, Mark,
okay, sounds good.
Because of the change in business model, we have the ability now market our products within the Body app itself, where we actually serve up the content. So now we can actually market right along the workouts with our various supplements that can help you get results with those workouts, and it takes you right to the Body.com site. We couldn't do that before because of the conflict.
It's really interesting about we're going to be marketing these supplements. I can remember back in the day when there used to be this company called Bally Total Fitness. I don't know if any of you guys ever worked out there, but I was a nut. I went there all the time, and that's where I met my friend Luis. I took Pilates from him. I took yoga. He didn't teach yoga, and I took spin and step aerobics. And his stuff, it was very complex choreography, and he never broke anything down. But one of the things I didn't do, I didn't have any supplements, and yet I still got results. So this whole thing about the supplements are going to help you get results, I'm not buying it. I think the supplements that you're convincing people are going to help them get results, and that if they buy them, it's just more money in your pocket. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just cynical, but there's plenty of people who work out and don't take supplements and actually get results. So this just kind of feels a little bit ick to me.
With the network marketing organization. So now it's really, like I said, a rising tide floats all ships.
Great. As you continue to expand your digital offerings and promotional activities, are there plans to introduce any subscription models or tiered access options to your digital content?
So, as you probably are aware, we are right now a digital subscription model. That's what we are in our digital fitness business. You can buy it for a number of months or a year, but you are a subscriber to the process. We also have individual programs that we will sell you. So you could buy P90X, for $59.95 and own it for the rest of your days. But the primary focus of our business has been and will continue to be on the fitness side, subscription-based.
Okay, great. What percentage of your current sales come from mobile devices, and how do you expect this to change with the new e-commerce platform?
Well, it's an interesting question. We don't disclose the specifics, but in general, within the e-com world, 70+% of consumers utilize a mobile platform, and about 25 to 30% in general use a computer platform, so desktop or a laptop, etc. So as we go forward, I think you'll see more and more people using mobile devices for sure, and we're also going to see more and more people using an app-based structure versus just using pure website access.
Okay, great. Thanks for the answers.
Sure. Thank you.
At this time, there are no more questions registered in queue. Again, if you would like to ask a question, it is star followed by 1. There are no more questions registered in queue. I'd like to pass the conference back over to our hosting team for closing remarks.
Thank you very much, operator. Well, I want to thank everybody for attending the call today. We're really excited about this business model transition at Body, and we look forward to talking to you on the next earnings call to be able to provide you with some color on how the new affiliate marketing program is going. So thanks everyone. Bye.
That will conclude today's conference call. Thank you for your participation and enjoy the rest of your day.
Well, there we had it. And yes, Joe did send me a screenshot. So let me also, I have it pulled up on the other screen over here. So let me share this. Okay. Now, what I find interesting is just looking at the Shakeology, the vegan, plant-based, and that it's $91.95. Because I believe it used to be like right at 99. So it's like it's reduced here. Yeah, right. Not many questions. But they haven't sent anything to the warehouse yet. That's, well, sure seems like that they have. I mean, you get stuff here. And wasn't this supposed to, what quarter was supposed to, what quarter was this to come out in? It's supposed to come out in 2025 for them to be on Walmart, and yet here we are on Walmart. And meanwhile, then we have this other shake, this organic protein right here next to it. So much cheaper. Why am I going to then get Shakeology? Anyone? Why would I do that in comparison? I see all these other things, half the price. Why would I want to get it? What did you check, Joe? What keyword did you put in? Did you put in body up here to search? I can put up body. Let's see. What comes up? Well, we still get Shakeology, and we get Lean Body, but I don't think Lean Body is by Beachbody. No. But look, it does have an MD on there. So interesting. Vive MD. That's kind of ugh. It says sold and shipped by Supersty. Who in the hell are those Huns putting it out there? Are these the Huns? I'm wondering. What about on Amazon? And if we look at okay, Shakeology over here. Look, the vegan, you can get it for 61. You can also get it for 113 and 113. No sugar added, 113. Isn't that interesting? 169. Okay, there was some that was I paying 150 for it? Please tell me I wasn't. Look, Benny Boo, it's organic and cheaper than yours. I'm so glad you're talking to Ben. Little Benny Boo Boo. I mean, there's, oh my gosh. So the Shakeology recipe book, look, you can get that too. And you know what? I won a recipe book. I called into the National Wake Up Call and like answered a question and got it right. And I got a free, cookbook. I was thrilled. No, nobody's thrilled to get that. All those are third party. And I'm kind of wondering, are these Huns putting their shit out there? The ones that, kept buying stuff? And are they now putting it out there? And let's see if we put body at body energize. Okay. Dang it. Visit the body store. Okay. Here we go. We're at the body store. Okay. They're so proud of the peppermint mocha. So proud of that. And it's like, oh, it sells out so quickly. But I wonder if it has. Meet the 5 superfood blends of Shakeology. Oh boy. Nutrition done right. And I remember going to Summit and I signed my name saying that I was committing to drinking Shakeology every day for the next year. Not culty at all. Not culty whatsoever. Huh. Okay, now let's go look over the fitness. Workout equipment and DVDs. Okay. Oh, it's interesting how they have stuff on sale. Well, you know what? That's because Huns are not buying the equipment because they have all this equipment now. And they're like, maybe we can shill it on Amazon. Maybe that's what we can do. Oh my gosh, the strength slides, please. And more with the nutrition over here. Bevy. Pomegranate berry. We need that. Oh, look. And they have skincare too. They never really kind of, push that stuff. Last thing, that's a new one. And look, Huns over here. Pictures of the Huns. Interesting. Interesting. And it has posts. What are posts? Oh, it's just their social media bullshit. Okay. Okay, there we go. He knows me as the goth bitch. I love that. I love that. Well, that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. I mean, I think it's interesting to listen to that call, and really seems like they're they're trying to make this be like, we're coming back. We're coming back. There are Huns selling Shakeology on Poshmark. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. But I'm not, I'm really not that shocked. They're going to do anything they can to make money. And honestly, I don't blame them, especially if they have a closet full of this shit. What do you do? Now that you no longer can have a team and you have no thought that you can build a team, because even if you didn't have a team, you thought maybe you could build one. Hey, Mr. Level, Merry Christmas to you, my love. So anyway, like I was saying, I wanted to share that earnings call with you. And so I hope me showing, all the stuff about, hey, not expected to make any money in the next 3 years was really eye-opening. It's like, it just really feels like it's going further and further downhill. And Angel, I do agree with you that maybe that price point is something to drive away people from being affiliates, because people are they're not going to want to pay that. I mean, they didn't want to spend when you could get a Beachbody program and Shakeology for $150. People didn't want to buy that. Why are they going to want to spend $300? I just don't think people will, Well, guys, I want to say thank you to everybody in the stream for participating. Thank you to all the lurkers as well. Anybody doing the replay, whoop, whoop to you. And anybody who played catch up, whoop, whoop for you as well. And I am going to get down on the go-go. I do have but I am having a problem, Takara, of logging into Discord on my laptop. I can't figure it out. I'm like, I need help. I need somebody who's a Discord guru to help me out, because it's just, I'm like going around in circles, and I just only can access it on my phone. It's really flipping annoying. So I'm sorry, I can't give that to you right now because I can't even get to it myself. I'm so sorry. And I need to get that kind of stuff all going again. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful one. And don't forget, you're beautiful and I love you. Be sure to do the YouTube things, like the stream, leave a comment under it, all of that stuff. And don't forget, you're beautiful and I love you.